Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rukwah Kodash, that belongs to the elders of GMS who were well. Peace and salutation to like Akim on the four corners, pushing the truth and sincerity. Peace be unto you and Shalom. Piggybacking off my last YouTube video, we're going to go into more of this feminism BS. Let this play a little bit.
Women's sports exist as a separate category from men's sports because of a basic biological reality. Men and women are different physically, and in some sports it would be unfair to force women to compete on the same playing field as men. For centuries, we have recognized that, and for decades in this country, women have benefited from having access to a separate playing field. But now the left's gender insanity is destroying that. So last week, Rachel McKinnon, a biological male, won the women's track cycling world championship and set a world record in doing so. Now, several current and former women's cyclists are coming out to defend their sport from a takeover by men. Karansky is a board member at Women's Liberation Front, and we're happy to have her back on this show. So, Karen, what is the case they are making that you are making against what just happened?
Thank you so much for having me here. And I just want to take brief issue with how you characterize the issue as being from the left, because I just want to say there are many Democrats and people who identify as being on the left who are very angry about the takeover of women's sports and how the Democratic Party is
handling. That's a fair point, and you are certainly on the left. And I was just saying in the commercial break, it takes a lot of guts for you to come on the show, so I'm grateful that you have.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm a lifelong member of the Democratic Party, and many of us cannot get a voice on this issue in most media, so I'm very grateful.
So why is that? I mean, let's just broaden this out. I'll just do it right away. This, if you had told me, and I cover politics and have for 30 years, 5 years ago that there would be a consensus in Washington that you were not allowed to question any of this stuff, I would have said that's insane. Today there is that consensus. It's dangerous even to raise questions about it.
Agreed.
What happened?
Agreed. So getting back to the case at hand, as you said, McKinnon is a male cyclist who on Saturday won a championship in the women's cycling competition in Manchester, England. And there are many feminists, women, who are questioning the right of male athletes to compete in women's sports. And the scene.
See, this is why, you opened up Pandora's box and now you can't close it. Because here you are, feminists were some of the pioneers, because they loved, you get the gay approval, once you get the gay approval, you got some type of political power. So homosexuality and feminism have always been two peas in a pod. Feminists claim to want equality. Homosexuals want equality too. So here you are, trying to deny a man, because if it's about equality, men and women are equal, then men and women are equal. So that means also a tranny and a woman are equal. So he should be able to actually participate in women's sports. Why is there a difference between the two? Why does women's sports exist? I thought feminism was about equality. They're equal. So that man, whether he has boobs or not, he's equal to you. So it's showing the hypocrisy of feminism. Well, it's always been shown, but it's displaying it to a point where even feminists got to speak up and say, okay, all right. Enough with this equality bullshit. We don't really want equality. We want, superiority and advantages.
To be unacceptable for us to take this position, but we will continue to take this position that it is unacceptable for males to compete in women's sports. It's very
Why not? I thought we were equal.
Important in this country for the purposes of maintaining Title IX protections for women and girls, which is something that my organization, the Women's Liberation Front, cares very much about.
So you're making a pretty straightforward.
So if men and women are equal, then that means a man should be able to enter a woman's bathroom. A man should be able to go inside a woman's restroom, a changing room, and everything. In fact, a man should be able to allow to perform, a hysterectomy on a woman without another female doctor or nurse or aide being there. He should be able to do it by himself. You know, a man should be able to adopt little boys or little girls if he wants to, you know, because, hey, we're equal. So with equality comes blurring the gender lines, which is what they want to do. Again, it's Babylon. It's fucking confusion every fucking where.
I think, reality-based case. And by doing so, you risk physical harm. How do we get to that place so fast?
Physical harm, social ostracization, risk to livelihood. I personally know several women who have been fired from positions for voicing concerns for the rights, privacy, and safety of women and girls. I want to also just make the point that many of your viewers may not understand that there are many people on the political left, including especially feminists, lesbians, gay men, and bisexual people who are gravely concerned about what the Democratic Party is doing on the topic of gender identity and pushing the notion that men can be women and women can be men, which is, first of all, regressive politically because it aligns with the notion of gender, which we want to abolish, but it's also just it's inaccurate scientifically.
Yes.
And there are many Democrats who are willing to say this, but many of your viewers may not know that because we are generally subjected to a media blackout.
Boy, you're always welcome on this show. I just never hear from them. Ever.
And the reason that you don't hear from them is that those of us on the left, Democrats, cannot get a voice on NPR, cannot get a voice in the New York Times, cannot get a voice in the Washington Post. We have tried. We have said we have a feminist and a gay rights objection to the trans movement, to trans ideology, and no one will hear us. No one will publish us.
It's just, well, as I said, and I mean it, you're always welcome.
See, that's the look. She basically says they blackballed, they blacklisted. So there actually are feminists that are against this trans stuff. But here's the thing: in today's world, everybody wants to be liberal, so everybody got to go along to get along, and they literally need the popular opinion to tell them how to think. You know, that's what a lot of these talk shows are for women. You know, The View, The Talk, The Real. It basically says, hey, women, hey, this is what we should be liberal about. This is the agenda. Hey, let's all think like this. Let's all think like that. Oh, we should be liberal towards this. Let's be liberal towards that. You know, what topic when are they addressing, controversial topics like this on The View or on The Real about a trans person, entering to a woman's bathroom, or a trans man entering to women's sports and dominating? They're blacklisted. So you got to go along to get along. This is Amos 3:3. It says, can two walk together except they be agreed? Right. So you have to be in agreement with the person that you're walking with. And one way to stay agreed is go along to get along. Don't bring up controversial issues. Everybody just act like they didn't see that man when a female's, title. Everybody act like they didn't see that man walking to the woman's bathroom because you're afraid of, hey, if you speak out against them, the homo mafia might come out and, slaughter you or try to throw your name in the mud or whatever type of stuff, and that's pretty much concludes this lesson, and on that note, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Mokah Kodash, double honors to the elders of GMS who rule well, peace and salutations to Lek Akim in the four corners, pushing the truth for sincerity. We're almost out of here. Peace be unto you, death to America, and shalom.